I see you as a very peaceful and silent man, centered in your heart. How did you reach that space of silence within yourself?
You see the result of 73 years, but if I look at my life, until the age of 28, I wasn't peaceful at all. I was warlike. I was on a complete survival trip. From military academies, to mental hospitals, to jails. There's a how to control and manipulate my world. And looking inside was never a question. I had no time to look inside. It was how to arrange things so that I could feel safe, you know. I would never look inside and say, I feel peaceful. I was always looking outside to see if everything was in place for me. This drive to survive, to manipulate my world, it's like walking into Chicago. I've never been there in my life. Getting off the train and on my way to university, stopping off, finding my way to the black neighborhoods, finding my way to a dealer and scoring dope. You know, that is mad. You go into the black neighborhoods there, man, it is survival. But I knew how to arrange things, so I wasn't peaceful, Giti. I was on a war footing all the time. Early warning systems. You know. And then at the age of 28, I discovered therapy and later on meditation. What did you say? It's 45 years ago?
48.
45 years ago. And I took the same energy, and I turned it into who am I, where am I going, and why? You know. And today, I'm still searching, looking, exploring, which is what I want you to do. Every day, life is, you know, showing you something new. So I can, after 73 years, I could say I'm enlightened, and I could say I'm still dealing with issues inside of me from my whole life, and I'm willing to look, I'm willing to go there. And then I could now walk into a own meditation, and people are screaming their lungs out. I feel silent inside. You know, I could walk over and say, straighten your back, bend your knees, keep the focus, be here and now, you know. And everyone is screaming, you know. So I found that peacefulness inside, you know. I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to be anything. The way I am is enough, you know. So there, I found that kind of peacefulness in that silence. Yes, I found it. But I had to work my ass off.
Osho speaks about the 3 columns of meditation, relaxation, non-judgment, and awareness. Which way of living supports a balanced foundation in human beings?
The way we live at the Humaniversity, our commune, is unique. We're an example for the whole world. If you want to create a total human being and appreciate all aspects, mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, sexually, parentally, you know, we're it. I mean, I look at what the work we're doing, we're really helping people to develop and be their most beautiful self. I don't know of a better place to do that than here. And you look at the people around us, they're all so loving and caring, You can't pay for that, man. Our way at this commune is the best place to create a balanced foundation in human beings. Basta la basta.
At the Humaniversity, we live based on love, awareness, and responsibility. Which place does silence have here?
I believe silence is a result of a lot of noise in your life. And before you can be silent, you need to let go of all this history and expectations in your brain. So before you can become silent, especially in the marketplace, here in Europe, here in America, you gotta scream your ass off, man. You gotta let all that shit out, and then you can say, all right, what's happening inside? I screamed a lot in my life. Man, have I screamed. I screamed so much that I can go into a primal in 3 minutes if I decided to do that. Less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes that used to be. In a minute.
1 minute, yeah.
And be total, because I know the way. That makes me complete as, my emotions. And I learned this in India. You can get a lassie and sit there and sit under a tree and meditate. So what we do here is we first move all the emotional expressions, all the blocks out of the way so that people can listen to themselves and find out who they are. You can't teach people to be silent when they're all full of shit inside, man, Yeah. And then they're mind fucking about where they're going next, and somebody's coughing and that's a disturbance, and the door was closed. And they're so caught up, with this, what meditation is supposed to be, man. What silence is. We do silent work here. After we squeeze the shit out of them.
During the month-long group WOW, you said to the group that the only position in life is to come from a loving heart. How is that related to being silent?
You can look at negative behavior, negative feelings, and it goes, if pain is the base, and everything is a reaction to pain, all your negative feelings. To go the opposite way would be love, and then there's joy, and then there's this state of happiness, and then you go into ecstasy, and when you're just so happy to be alive, it doesn't matter if there's a band playing, man. You feel this silence inside, this joy, this bliss, Doesn't mean you cannot act and hear yourself doing all kinds of bad things. But the space is inside the silence. The extremeness of love. It's blissful silence, man. Really. I mean, there's noise. I'm not saying there's no noise. I'm not saying your mind. But it's there. You feel that. You feel it. Like I said, you got to do a lot of work. A lot of work. Over and over, and then it just happens. You feel it. You understand.
You have no choice.
Yeah, go back to that. I have no choice. All right.
The more I develop being in my heart, the more I enter a space of silence within myself. Words seem to become unnecessary and I don't feel like playing social games anymore. Some people seem to find it difficult to relate to me and don't know what to say, and they feel insecure around me. I feel expectations on how I should be and that they would like me to be more accommodating and outgoing. Can you comment, please?
Well, somebody in a group comes up and says, I want you to be my guru. I look and I say, okay, but you have to do exactly what I tell you to do. And then suddenly there's this change in the face, like, oh, this game is over. I just want to, say hello or something. And I said, the route takes you from darkness to light. I'm ready to do that, but you have to do everything I say. And it was like a smile, but I'm not so sure, I'm ready to be social. If it's important for them, why not for now? Yeah. Later on, if they come and they say, I would really like to be a friend, then to me I would like that even more. But right now it's not possible. I'm a guru figure, so why not? I enjoy it. I don't get in the way. You have to develop your character, your personality, your way of being, which is yours. And that's what people can learn from you. They can get a reflection of themselves with you by you being honest. You feeling what you're feeling and being behind that. Sometimes the feeling is based on wrong facts. It has nothing to do with it, You can change it, It's really exceptional to be yourself exactly where you're at. That's so unique, it's really unique. I'm where I'm at, I see where she's at, and I give her what I feel, And if she can take it, great, So that's a big responsibility, Geeti, to be yourself, man. Yeah. Maybe you don't feel like saying anything. Maybe you feel an expectation. You look at what's best. What's best? What's best? Sometimes you don't want to say anything. Sometimes you overload them.
Yes.
Sometimes they wish they never asked you anything. But that's your uniqueness, your way of responding to given situations. That's based on your heart.
Yeah. Thank you. According to you, what are the biggest hindrances that prevent people from meditating?
Hindrances. For me, I became a sannyasin because I knew that meditation was a goal to get enlightened. Sannyasin, meditate, enlightenment. Something like this was my formula. So I wanted to meditate fast so that I could get enlightened fast, because I didn't want to be doing dynamic in the morning all the time, So one of the things that I discovered is that I had this expectation that, because I had heard the Kundalini energy starts at the base of your spine, and then it travels up, and then it explodes out of your head, or your third eye opens up, and you're beaming all over the place. And I was on the wrong track from what I've seen. But I needed to go there in order to appreciate that it's not the Kundalini going up my ass, or my seventh chakra exploding, or my third eye. I was looking at the result of something. The cause is my heart. That's the foundation. That creates, and I was just looking all over the wrong places. And then when I understood it's my heart, and Osho showed me that, you know, that's the source. So a lot of hindrances, expectations of how you should get enlightened, how to compare yourself to other people being enlightened, you know, and how the world upsets you because you don't have the right perfect setting to meditate, you know. Go into your heart, opening your heart. That's it. And sometimes the heart is really beaming, and sometimes the heart is just doing its normal thing. But that's the source. It sends blood and energy to everything in the body, the heart. And if your heart is open, you're home, man. Electricity is everywhere. So, one of the mistakes of meditating is trying to imitate other people who have been enlightened. Osho falls off a tree, Buddha's under another tree, you know, Bodhidharma cuts off his eyelashes, you know, I mean, Kotai dances his ass in a circle, you know, I mean, and then you get these images of what it means to be enlightened, and the love in your heart is the source of enlightenment, and that creates all the energy systems to go on. So, don't think of your head exploding with light. See your heart exploding with love. It doesn't matter what meditation then you do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to add anything to complete this?
Okay. I just completed this month long, the wow, and I'm still what I want to say is the wow helped me to expand more. I feel I was able to touch everyone, and that is, wow, that's great. That they can go home and improve their lives in any kind of way. I'm very happy about that, you know. I can make this a more beautiful world we live in, Giti. You know? That's my reward, you know. When they go home and they say, it's true, I'm avoiding this, and I gotta take responsibility for my life, you know. I gotta stop blaming my parents and blaming society. And hopefully they look into their little data books and say, oh, I remember. I'm doing the same thing. I gotta change it. I'm very happy at the result of the wow. Such a special. And the Tanju teenagers, exceptional. So, big thank you to everyone in the wow.